What's up, guys? Today we're going to be reviewing the new JPEG Mafia album, All My Heroes Are Cornballs. Released in September of 2019, this album is JPEG Mafia's most recent and third studio album, and continues to add more experimental hip-hop to his discography. His previous album, Veteran, served to be as a refresher in the genre that was stale in the past. The album is critically acclaimed from a lot of internet critics, with most of them giving it a score around an 8 out of 10. The album also peaked on position number 105 on the Billboard 200, which makes it his first album that landed on this Billboard list. The album is way more melodic than JPEG Mafia's previous album, and it really shows his skills as an artist to create an album that serves to show his mind and soul with melodic lyrics, catchy and aggressive samples, and dance-worthy beats. With 18 tracks, the album becomes more and more enjoyable as you go through. The album opens with the track, Jesus Forgive Me, I'm a Thought, which really gives a good insight into what the album contains. The piano sample with the raw melodic lyrics really make you feel with the song. Granted, the lyrics are not really up to par with the song made by Denzel Curry or Kendrick Lamar, but the lyrics do add to the overall theme of the song. Plus, when you think of JPEG Mafia, you don't really think of clever and witty lyricism. The ad-libs and drums in the instrumental also add to the piano, and aid in creating this extremely enjoyable melodic song. The second track, Keenan vs. Kel, is one of my personal favorite tracks from this album. The dichotomy between the two parts of the track is amazing. The first half is more melodic and shows more of a style that is present in the entire album, while the second half of the song is more aggressive and powerful, and is more reminiscent of his previous album, Veteran. The title seems to suggest something different, but I personally think that JPEG Mafia created this track in order to show his current style production and his previous style production are opposites, and have some sort of musical rivalry with each other. Once again, however, the track features really great production work, with both instrumentals being very well made and adding to the overall theme of the song that JPEG Mafia was going for. A song where two styles of production and lyric delivery are pitted against each other for the listener to judge. The next track, Beta Male Strategies, is probably one of the most interesting songs on this album. From looking at just the instrumental alone, the song is very interesting as it features a really good vocal sample as the main sound for the first minute and a half. Similar to the previous song, the track features a second part that clashes with the first instrumental. However, from a lyrical perspective, the song does lack in its lyrical ability, especially in the second half of the song. The second half becomes somewhat unbearable with the constant line of F-bombs that he constantly drops for a while. Overall, I think it's a decent song, but I definitely feel it's one of the weaker songs on this album, as it does come off as fairly aggressive in the second half. However, he comes off as too aggressive in this song, to the point where it becomes kind of obnoxious to the listener. Alright, the next song is JPEG Mafia Type B, which is a simple song that functions as sort of an intro to the next song in the album, Grimy Waifu. This short 1-minute song is probably JPEG Mafia trying to flex off his production skills, as there aren't many vocals by him in the song. His sample is interesting, as it adds an old Atari Teenage Riot song while adding his own flair to the instrumental, with complex drums and such. The most interesting part of the song is near the end, where he manages to seamlessly blend the instrumental of this song with the instrumental of Grimy Waifu, and transitions smoothly between the two. The fifth track on this album, Grimy Waifu, is probably my most favorite off the entire album. The track contains, in my opinion, the best instrumental out of all the other tracks, with this mainly acoustic sample and other samples laced within, and multiple synths as well. He also does a great job of backing up this solemn instrumental with great singing that matches the tone that the instrumental gives off. The way he swaps his flow multiple times and maintains interesting lyrics that mesh with the instrumental just makes me enjoy the song a whole lot. You can tell that he might have spent more time in the studio on this song than many of the other ones. The next track, PTSD, is another great track. This song has more experimental production as there are more sounds and samples meshed into this song than the entire album. He somehow does manage to mix them all together, though, which is impressive in and of itself. His raw lyrics also add to the concoction of sounds that create a great listening experience if you have these really nice headphones. The outro of the song is very catchy as well, and always gets me humming and bopping my head along with these sample claps. Rap Grow Old and Die and No Child Left Behind was a great track. It includes a very powerful synthwave instrumental and has some very good singing points on this track. JPEG Mafia's melodic voice combined with the synthwave instrumental hits you with a different wave of melodies that truly pleases your ear. The lyrics do leave much to be desired though, but they're very catchy enough to sing along to. The 8th track, All My Heroes Are Cornballs, is definitely one of the best tracks on this album as well. The instrumental is a mess on this track. There's tons of just random sounds mixed into the beat, ranging from pianos to drums to 808s to snares to a collage of voices sampled near the middle of the track. Even with the multiple different sounds, he still manages to mix them all together and create this very fun instrumental that gives life to the track. It just makes the track way better than if he produced it with a simple instrumental and some 808s. This track deserves to be the title track, and it shows Peggy's skills in creating a pleasant instrumental with the use of melodic samples and sounds, while all matching that same melody combined with his own singing voice. The ending of the song serves as comedic relief because it wouldn't be a JPEG Mafia song without some of that. The following track, Prone, reminds me of his earlier work prior to All My Heroes Are Cornballs, but it has a bit of a new spin to it. It definitely has that raw, aggressive feel to it, but it also is quite relaxing towards the end, and it blends well into the following track. Personally, I'm not too crazy about this song in particular, but I feel that it's still a pretty decent song. Life's Hard, Here's a Good Song About Sorrow, is one of the tamer songs on the album, as he has this simple electric guitar instrumental over a track while he sings. This interlude-ish song probably serves as the way to calm down the listener after listening to the energetic Prone, or as a way to lead into the next track, Thought Tactics. Thought Tactics was another great song off this album. Like the previous song, it has a tamer instrumental compared to the other songs on the album. It features Peggy singing on a nice chorus, with him rapping with some surprisingly clever lyrics. The ad-libs in this song do get a bit annoying towards the end in my opinion, but overall I think it's a very strong song on the album. My second favorite song on this album, Free the Frail, JPEG Mafia raps for the majority of his song, but his singing chorus is definitely one of the better choruses and hooks out there. It isn't too lyrical, but his delivery and passion in his voice makes a very catchy chorus and fun to listen to. His rapping parts aren't all that bad either. He raps about his trouble as a rising star in the industry. You can really feel the passion in his voice. The Helena DeLand feature also helps add more passion into the song, with hums and singing. This track, along with Grimy Waifu, rise above the rest, in my opinion. The 16th track, Dot's Freestyle Remix, is a very good track as well. This song was a remix of Dot's freestyle he made with Kenny Beats a while back. JPEG Mafia stated that he sampled fire for the song to make it sound like there's a lot going on. The fire actually does a lot to make the song a lot more interesting, and the synths in the background also add to it. Plus, the features do a very good job of adding to the song, especially with Buzzy Lee and her singing. The final track, Poppy I Missed You, is just a compilation of all JPEG Mafia's thoughts and feelings. On this track, he spills out the most random lyrics he can think of on a trippy instrumental. His lyrics could be a bit offensive for some, but that was most likely what he wanted when making it. He just wanted to say his unfiltered and raw feelings. The outro of the song feels otherworldly as well, with the contorted voice samples and light synths. I personally don't really like this song, as the outro doesn't really mesh with the beginning of the song, but I can enjoy it once in a while. I really feel like this album is great. Personally, I like the experimentation going against the usual sound seen in hip-hop. It was a great experience to listen to this album at first, and I would give a lot to listen to this album for the first time again. Sure, the lyrics don't have as much substance as mainstream rappers, but the experimental instrumentals do more than make up for the lack of lyrical cleverness. Overall, I would rate this album a light 9.